Hello everybody and welcome back to Art by the Lake. Today we're combining again two of my favorite things, painting, messing around with paint, and drinking beer. So today we're going to do a drag beach scene. And so we've chosen one of my favorite beach beers. This is Oscar Blues Dale's Pale Ale. If you haven't tried this beer, be sure to try it. They're from Longmont, Colorado, Brevard, North Carolina, and they even have a brewery down in Texas now. They make some really good stuff. Not only are we going to enjoy a beer today with our painting, but we are going to use beer in the paint mixture. This color that we're going to use for the sand, we diluted it with beer instead of distilled water. So that's going to be interesting. We have about 12 colors here in front of me. I'm giving them one final mix. They are 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint, 1 part distilled water, except as I mentioned the sand color, instead of distilled water, it has beer in it. So we'll see how that works out. I really have no idea. I have a drop of coconut milk serum in each color. I think we've put it in every color today just to try that out. A lot of experimentation going on today. So as always, tune in and watch us waste paint so that you don't have to. So without further ado, we will open our Dale's Pale Ale and begin the fun. Today I'm going to drag with wax paper. I normally use a wet paper towel. Today I'm going to use wax paper. We are going to stripe the canvas this way. I will end up with sand down here, and then we will drag the sand up through the colors. So I'm going to start with white, since white will sort of be our shore break color, and that will help define our line here. So we'll put down a little bit of white. And that's going to help us figure out where to stop. So we're going to keep our eye on the time. I just started the timer. Our video is limited to about 20 minutes. You can thank Nikon for that. No big deal if we run over, we just reset. I have 12 different colors here, all shades I've pretty much made on my own. I'm going to try to spread them across the canvas pretty evenly. The hope is that I run out of paint somewhere near the top. I've used sort of all ocean colors, some interesting blues, some interesting gray blues, some seafoam blue. You don't have to be too careful at this point with the colors touching one another or not touching one another. When we do the drag, the colors will touch one another, believe me. I have to remember to keep putting white in here periodically because the ocean has a lot of white in it. And so we want this to look like the ocean. This one is inspired by my vacations down in North Carolina on the Outer Banks. If you've never been to the Outer Banks, get there. It's a really wonderful place. It's a wonderful place for inspiration. And also it's a wonderful place to sit on the beach and drink beer. So why not combine the two today? I really have no idea how the beer will behave as one of the thinning mechanisms. So we'll find out at the same time. Hopefully it behaves well, or maybe it'll do something we find unexpected. I like unexpected. Some of these paints I made fresh today. Some of them are left over from last weekend's paintings. I'm kind of hoping we use them all at the end of the day today. I don't really want much left, if any. We'll save a little bit in each glass just to sort of touch up the edges at the end. And you'll see probably when we go into the time lapse that there's going to be Quite a bit of fiddling around with this one, although you never know, right? Maybe not. I know I'm going to have to fix the edges quite a bit on this one because it's not, I'm not pouring it uniformly over the edge. If you like what we're doing, you can find us on YouTube. If you're watching this, you've already found us, but please do subscribe. If you're interested in doing this, and we think that's why you're watching, there are links at the bottom of this post that will allow you to buy the exact same supplies we buy, except for maybe the beer. The beer you'll have to find on your own, but Oscar Blues is widely distributed, so it should not be a problem. I'm looking to see if there's any colors I've missed. You know, when you're mixing paint, it always feels like you don't have enough. And then when you start to pour it on the canvas, it sometimes feels like you have too much. So, "12 colors. I'm going to run this one down in here. Oop, well, see, there's our spill of the day. I don't know why, but everybody loves a good spill. We get more comments and questions after we spill than if we don't spill. I'm not sure that's a good thing, but it is what it is. So let's get some blues down here. I'm going to double up on some of the colors. You'll see I'm not afraid to lay one color on top of another. We're trying to get an interesting ocean effect here, so don't be afraid to lay colors over one another. In the end, this is all going to fire out into one big swoosh. So as I'm getting to what is the bottom of the canvas, which is over here on your left, I'm going to do some white, and then I'm going to fill in all that beach color. I want to try to reserve some white. I'm not sure I'll be able to do that, but I know I'm going to have to go in at the end with some of these colors and touch up. Again, if you like what we're doing, you can find us on YouTube. You can find these paintings listed on Etsy and on eBay. We are Art by the Lake in all of those locations. If you want to email me, you can contact me at artbythelake@gmail.com. Once I pour the sand color, this is going to go pretty fast. So, and again, the sand color has beer in it. It feels thick, I can tell you that. I'm not willing to taste it. I'm betting it tastes like paint. And boy, it's got some lump to it. That ought to be interesting in the final drag here. I'm going to get it over the edges. I made more of this than anything else because it is the color that will get drugged across the entire canvas. I make my own colors. There are very few I pour straight up out of the jar, but they're all pretty much compromised of some stuff we find at Michael's, some liquid paints, some Liquitex basics that I like a lot, and just some Americana Decora. So it's out there. All the colors are out. I've got my wax paper. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to get a tray ready here so that when I'm done with the wax paper, I have a place to get rid of it. I'm going to lay it down in the tan. I'm going to try to lay it smoothly in the tan. See if I can do that. Make sure I have good contact. I do. There's your contact. And then I'm going to drag it all the way across the painting. And I'm going to lighten up as I get toward the top edge. Okay, so gonna have a sip of beer and I'm gonna enjoy the show like you are and watch these cells go crazy. I'm already noticing that down at the bottom of the canvas, we've gone a little thin on paint here because of the drag. So I'm gonna backfill that in with some more of the beach color so that we don't have white spots down here. That's when you do a drag, you run the risk of running out of color, which I do. We've just had another spill, if you want to call it that. I dropped my stick into the painting. For some reason, people love the spills and mistakes, so we don't edit them out. If I drop something or spill something or mess something up, I leave it in, because I know that you like that as much as you like a successful painting. In fact, our last video that we did was really how to correct a problem when you have a problem. Last time we had a problem, we tried to pour some things that didn't work out, and we corrected it. I'm going to give this a little bit of a torch blast. See what that does. Down here where I would call it the wave breaking area, I want to pump up some more of the smaller cells. And out here where it's oceany sort of thing, I want to leave the larger cells. So I'm going to do that. See if we can get some of the white to poke through down here where it's the wave going on. So all in all, I think this has come out very nice. I'm deciding whether to tilt it or not, but in the meantime we can just sort of watch the cells form. See what you think. I do have a stick down here, so I can tilt it a little bit to stretch some of these if I want. So I'm going to do that. Get some of the beach back on the beach and get it out of the ocean. I don't know if our microphone is picking it up or not, but it is pouring rain outside right now. Welcome to spring in the Northeast. So that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to leave it alone for a little bit here. You'll see in time lapse, I'm going to fix the edges here because there are some gaps in the edges. But beyond that, we're going to call this one done. Painting with beer at the ocean, on the beach. Something along that line. If you like what you see, you can find us on Etsy and eBay, both at Artbythelake. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Artbythelake. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me at artbythelake@gmail.com. I do respond to all the questions. I do respond to any of your comments. So do feel free to comment, good or bad. This one I think has been a lot of fun, and I think it came out really, really well. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. We are Artbythelake out.